Good day, everybody. Meteorologist Mark Muller here. How's everybody getting along? We have so much to talk about here. The tropics really heating up. We could be seeing Tropical Storm Blas in the Eastern Pacific and Tropical Storm Bonnie potentially later this week into the Caribbean. And also we have severe weather mesoscale convective systems potentially into parts from moving in from the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and into the Northeast to Mid-Atlantic Monday night and Tuesday. We'll take a look at that threat, see what areas are under the gun, and a heat wave developing as well. Let's get into it. All right, so taking a look at the tropics here, we have Invest 92E very likely to develop, at least by Tuesday here, into some sort of depression. Could become Tropical Storm Blas, so we might have Tropical Storm Blas form here. Now, we have another area, a system here that could develop over the next couple days. 20% chance at the moment, but I expect that to increase in time. Right now, the favorability rating is not very high on it, but we could be looking at some sort of a system here. And look at the one we're really going to be focusing on as well is the Western Caribbean here. Wednesday into Thursday and Friday, we could be looking at Tropical Storm Bonnie, and that is going to be moving towards Belize and the Yucatan Peninsula towards the weekend. Let's take a look at the models. So yeah, taking a look at the GFS first here. As we go in time, there is a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity here. So here we go, whatever's going to happen with Blas is just off your screen. I'll be showing that momentarily in the bigger picture here. But look at there. There's the next system behind Invest 92E, and there is what could be forming of another system. And as you can see in time here, as we put this into motion, look at this. This is towards Thursday, June 16th. There is that system. There's another system that could be the next named storm, the C-named storm in the Eastern Pacific. And as we go continuing in time here, this strengthens it to, potential low-end hurricane possibly here towards Friday, June 17th. And as we continue, look at that. Pretty strengthening here towards the northern Belize coast into the Yucatan Peninsula here as we head towards Saturday. So we could be dealing with a potential Tropical Storm Bonnie, maybe Hurricane Bonnie, and that kind of pinwheels inland here as we head throughout time. And look at things stay pretty active here in this region, Western Caribbean into the Eastern Pacific. So the European model showing quite a bit of disorganization here as well, but still storminess. So as we head throughout time here, what is the European model showing? It is showing that low, there's that one on the heels of what could become Blas. But look what's here in the Southern Caribbean. The Euro is picking up on it now as well. And in time, look what the Euro does. Kind of keeps it a bit weak. Much weaker than the GFS and then the next system here into the Eastern Pacific. But, as we head throughout time, it's hinting that something's here. So that's a start. Sometimes the Euro is not picking up on what the GFS is tropical-wise, but as we head towards the weekend, there's definitely something here. And of course, there's something here as well. Could be the C-named storm in the Eastern Pacific, but as we head throughout time, look at that. The Euro is picking up on another low come next Sunday, June 19th. All right, taking a look at the tropics here, you see most of the activities in the Eastern Pacific and Western Caribbean. We have a front here stalled along the U.S. East Coast and an area of big old high pressure in the Central Atlantic. So as we continue this in time, take a look at this. Yep, we do have some areas. This could become Blas. Right now it's battling some dry air and reorganization, but look at this. We have this next system moving into the Eastern Pacific, and if we put this in time, Tuesday into Wednesday, take a look what's going on here. 3 systems. We're going to have 3 systems pretty close together here. We have Invest 92E, which could become Blas. And then we have the next system here behind it. And look at this. In the extreme Southern Caribbean, that is what could become Tropical Storm Bonnie in time here. Take a look as we move. There's the big picture. We have high pressure. And that is what I think is going to happen. It's going to deflect this system to the west into Belize here and the Yucatan Peninsula. So this high pressure is going to be strengthening and building, and that's going to help steer this system a little bit to the west here. You see what could be Blas over here, and a weak system here on its heels. And as we go out in time, it does develop it into a potential hurricane making landfall here towards the weekend, the middle of next weekend here. And then, in time here, things kind of stay pretty active here across Central America. Look at that into next week, Tuesday, June 21st. Look at that. So as we continue out in time here, yeah, there is another hint of a crossover system. Let me back up that a few frames here. So if we take a look at that. This is pretty far out, so take this with a grain of salt, but look at that. There's the system, and it shows a crossover into the Gulf of Mexico and then making landfall again. So, a lot can happen between now and then, but there is a common theme here. Look at this along the East Coast. We have to watch these areas as well because we could have some systems develop if, thunderstorms persist along the tail end of these fronts. And look at that, another low. So the Western Caribbean and Eastern Pacific staying extremely active in time here. So yeah, sea surface temperature anomalies. One thing I noticed here, what could become Bonnie, it might head into some cooler waters here, but it initially has some warm water to start. We haven't had anything up here into the Gulf of Mexico yet, but look at along the East Coast as well above average. And you know what? We've had so much activity in the Eastern Pacific. I am not surprised this is cooler than average. So this might actually put a wrench in some of these storms as well, strengthening significantly. All right, taking a look at the areas of concern here. There it is, the Western Caribbean. That is an area I'm watching intently. It could develop into Tropical Storm Bonnie later in the weekend. Off your screen is what could become Tropical Storm Blas. And then here, also another area in the Eastern Pacific. It's rather disorganized at the moment, but we'll watch it in time here. There's a feature here in the Western Gulf of Mexico that is kind of interesting, but it is moving inland pretty quickly, so no chance of development there. There is that mesoscale convective system there on the satellite picture. That is going to be dropping across the Upper Ohio Valley, Eastern Great Lakes, and eventually here into the Mid-Atlantic for Monday night and Tuesday. So we'll watch that. Here is another stalled out frontal boundary here along the East Coast. We always have to watch these this time of year too. We kind of get some spin ups here sometimes on the southern end of these fronts. Now, if you take a look at the rest of the tropics here, there is another feature here out in the Atlantic. One right here, these upper level lows, doesn't look like it's going to develop at the moment, any of these. And the intertropical convergence zone is becoming a little bit further to the north, a little bit more active. There's two features out here we'll continue to watch, but I don't see anything developing out of those at the moment. I wanted to briefly show you the dust out here. It's mainly to the north of the intertropical convergence zone. These are areas of stable areas. Once the dust kind of infiltrates, you can see that hazy look just before the sun starts to set here. But the rest of the tropics, look at this, pretty much dust-free down and through this part of the area. So here we go. As we head throughout the rest of Monday evening here, this is where we're going to start to see the organization for this mesoscale convective system potentially forming into derecho. You can start to see the development of it here. And as we head towards, look at this, Toledo, towards closer to midnight, you have two areas just northeast of Chicago here, heading into western Michigan, and then heading into northern Ohio. So things are going to really start to get really bad here across northern Ohio. So we're going to be dealing with, look at this. So you start to have these bowing out segments. This is where you're going to get into 70, 80, potentially 90 mile per hour wind gusts out of some of these storms. And this is, a couple hours after midnight here in the Cleveland area. So yeah, you're going to be seeing overnight here. These are going to remain pretty nocturnal and hold together. And let's skip ahead here. There we go, the northeast view. There it is, right around Cleveland here. Look at this, and then heading on to Toledo, the second line. Now look as we head through time here. Youngstown, Ohio, just before sunrise. Pittsburgh, here we go. Another line moving through Toledo towards north central Ohio here. As we head throughout the night, let's back up that one frame. Look at this, Pittsburgh. Yeah, even though it's still dark, you're going to be having these strong to severe thunderstorms. Damaging wind is going to be the main threat with these, and these are going to come through really quickly. Look how it starts to combine into one mesoscale convective system. Now watch what happens in time here. It starts to resemble quite a comma shaped. Take a look at that. So as we head towards, pretty much sunrise here, look at this. So we got this area of stratiform rain to the north. This is stable air, thankfully, but it's south, especially south of the Pennsylvania border into Maryland, parts of West Virginia and of Virginia as well. Look at that. We head towards D.C., parts of just north of Richmond here as we get into, the mid-morning hours. Take a look at this. And we have some more storms trying to fire behind it here into central and southeastern Ohio here. So look at that. That starts to wash out, though. By afternoon here, we still have several complexes of storms as they move off the coast here. And take a look at that. We clear it out for your Wednesday. So taking a look at the convective available potential energy, this is what the energy, if the storm's able to come over top of the, the cap, instability, all that get triggered into an actual storm. This is how much energy, this system has to work with. So look at this. This is tremendous amount of CAPE, but this is not where we're going to see the strongest storms fire. So look, heading on throughout the day on Monday, take a look at this. So it's going to be on the southern end of this cape here. Take a look at this. So, yeah, we're heading into... Let's back that up a second. So it's on the southern end of this mesoscale convective system, particularly here into north central Ohio, southwestern Pennsylvania. This is where you're going to get CAPE on the order of, look at this, 2,500 to 3,000 joules per kilogram. Some of these purple areas upwards of 4,000. So I'm really concerned about this area in Ohio, parts of southwestern Pennsylvania, and heading into West Virginia. And as you see it, you head throughout the day here on Tuesday, and slowly that shifts to the southeast here. This is where you're going to see the greatest risk, but as we head throughout the day Tuesday, that will be calming down, especially towards the afternoon hours, as the strongest CAPE, you can see, pretty much moves off the coast. Now, we have tremendous CAPE over here in southwestern Ohio, in Kentucky, and West Virginia, but we don't have any parameters to get any storms firing back here. Now, there will be a few storms firing, as I showed you, onto the NAM 3 kilometer, but at this point, it's just not looking like we have a trigger set up here, any front in the area. And I wanted to show you very briefly this evening, Monday evening into Monday night. We do have a significant tornado parameter possibility here, 1 to 1.5. Watch, though, as I head towards midnight Monday night. Look at this. Yeah. So within portions of this mesoscale convective system potential derecho, we could be looking at some of these storms within the actual line spinning up 3 to 3.5 on the SIGTOR scale here. That's pretty significant as we head throughout the overnight hours. Look at that. Wow. That is pretty, especially just south of Cleveland and Toledo here. We could be looking at the potential. This is going to be a kind of a dangerous situation here. You see, you start to get into values 4.5 here. So, yeah, you're going to want to heed all those warnings, but look how quickly it turns into just a damaging straight line wind event. You know, you're pretty much at this point damaging straight line winds. Now, interestingly enough here, I looked at here the rapid refresh model. Take a look at this. The mesoscale convective system potential derecho is actually a bit slower here. Look at this. This is Tuesday morning. I'll be just before sunrise, and it's a bit further to the north. So places like Cleveland really potentially getting in on the act here. So I don't want to discount you areas further to the north. Take a look at this. This is definitely dangerous here as we get right around sunrise here, and we basically knocking through parts of western Pennsylvania. You can see the most damaging threat here just north of the Pittsburgh area, moving through Youngstown, Ohio, and progressing towards Pittsburgh, moving through Pittsburgh. And look at that. As we get throughout mid-morning here, there's that classic comma shape. So we're getting into damaging wind here across parts of western Maryland, into northern Virginia, West Virginia here. And as we head throughout time, you can see that system really dropping to the south really fast. That's one thing you'll note is these systems tend to really book it, and they move to the southeast really quickly. They have a lot of forward speed, and that's why they have a lot of damaging winds with them as well. So as we take a look at the severe weather, the rest of your Monday evening, Monday night, this is the area I'm most concerned about. Parts of northern Ohio, southern part of Michigan, into parts of southwestern Pennsylvania, and into parts of West Virginia and western Maryland. So as we head in time here, look at this. Day 2, that shifts to the mid-Atlantic here, and then we have another area across parts of the Central Plains and Northern Plains as well. So this is the derecho that will be slowly weakening, but we could see redevelopment later in the day on Tuesday here. And as we head into Wednesday, areas west of Interstate 81 in Pennsylvania, New York, and then down into parts of Virginia, North Carolina here, there's a marginal risk. So damaging wind, large hail potential. And then with another front moving through, as this trough lifts out across the northern plains into Canada, we will have another risk here, slight risk into parts of eastern Iowa, into parts of Wisconsin. So is there anything on the day 4? Yes, there is. Look at this. This is heading towards, yeah, we're getting into parts of essentially Thursday here. So look at this. This is probably going to break our heat wave here into parts of the Northeast. So you're going to see damaging wind, large hail, maybe some isolated tornadoes in western New York, western Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio. As we head to day 5, probability is too low. All right, John from the Islip area this past Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Take a look at this. He had severe thunderstorms in the area with tornado and large hail. Take a look at that. Weather getting pretty rough there around the area, and that could be the rule, coming into this next week. We could see some stronger to severe thunderstorms once again in parts of the Northeast as we have some storms ejecting from the Midwest and the Great Lakes and southern Canada. So really nice captures there, John. Really capturing the essence of the severe weather season here. Take a look at that. All right, so I wanted to show you briefly into the Northeast for Thursday because there's another severe weather threat. You can see as we head throughout Wednesday night here, we do have some systems moving through. None of these look rather severe, but look at this. We had throughout the night, Wednesday night, we do have instability going on. So we will have thunderstorms, complexes in the area. Don't focus on any one of these points, but look at that. As we head throughout Thursday, we see a renewed chance of showers and thunderstorms here. You can see development starting here into the daytime heating. This is just 1-2 p.m. here, and look at this. You can make out a front here moving through. We will have showers and thunderstorms here, particularly between 2 and 8 p.m., especially here into my circled zone I just circled there. So look at that as we head throughout Friday evening. That kind of washes out, and look at that. You got redevelopment here Friday morning, just along and east of the coastline here. So another thing I wanted to show your attention to, yeah, we're going to have that big old area of high pressure here building in across the central and eastern part of the U.S., and we will remain pretty temperate here for the most part in the Northeast. Things will start to get a little bit warmer, more humid here into parts of the Northeast later Tuesday and into Wednesday, but look at this heat. Look at these high temperatures. Many areas in the upper 90s here, and the humidity's really going to start building here across the east. Look at this. Cooler than average out west with that trough. Take a look at that. Well below average. So as we head towards your Wednesday here, so your maximum temperatures for Wednesday, look at this. Yeah, you're seeing 98, 99 degrees, 92 in Cleveland, 97 towards Pittsburgh. Look at this Wednesday. So you can see why we're having those mesoscale systems right around this proverbial ring of fire, so to speak, ridge we have. And this is one of those death ridges. Look at this. Hundreds in parts of the southern plains, Texas area. Look at this, even building into parts of the southeast here. And temperatures are going to feel much warmer. Look at this. St. Louis area, 100 degrees for a high here. And let's see, as we head throughout day 4, we start to get slight moderation, but look at this. We're still building. We're starting to build the heat out west of here as well. And look at even the parts of the Northeast here. We start to crack 90 degrees up towards Rochester, New York. Still a marine layer holding here across New England. So, it's all dependent on that. Still 90s there in Pittsburgh. And then we head towards Friday here. So look at this. We get a little bit of a cool snap moving in across the Northeast. Still, look at that. The big cities in the Northeast, upper 80s, low 90s. And look at this. 90s building all the way up into eastern Montana. And look at this. Most of the country is in either 80s or 90s at this point. All right, so taking a look at the CFS medium range models. Yeah, there's that big old ridge across the east. That's where we're going to see the heat wave. Trough across the west, stormier than average. But as we continue, we're going to continue to see quite a bit of clash here. So we're going to still have these severe weather outbreaks. You see that trough lifting out to the northeast. Anytime you see that, to the southeast of that, you always see strong to severe thunderstorm outbreaks. And we will be seeing those throughout the week, even to parts of the northeast. You see that ridging continuing into Friday and the weekend here. Finally getting a trough here across the east. So that's where we'll see the cooler than average temperatures. Ridge really developing here. Look at this. This is like, wow. Look at this pattern. This is interesting for heading into early summer here. And this is just, wow. You're going to be below average here across the northeast. Well above average here into parts of the central part of North America. And a big old trough starting to cut off here along the U.S. West Coast. Look at that. We head in time. And look at this. We start to see more persistence here with the trough here across the northeast. And as you look, there's really no troughs to kick any of these tropical systems that develop across the Caribbean into the Eastern Pacific any further northward here. So those kind of just meander and make landfall down into these areas as we head throughout mid to later part of June here. Take a look at this. So yeah, we remain, there's a cutoff low, kind of stuck here because you got all these ridges to the north. You can't get rid of this. And look at this. Ridging developing out west here. The heat is definitely going to be on as we head towards early, right around July 4th here. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with cooler than average temperatures, warmer than average here across the central part of North America. Extended outlook from hometown viewers. Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna River Valley in New York and Pennsylvania. Take a look Tuesday through Saturday. Yeah, we'll have some clearing Tuesday, 81 degrees. Wednesday, the heat is starting to build. Heat and humidity on the rise. Chance of a late day shower or thunder shower up towards 87. Look at this for Thursday. We might have the chance of a strong storm, maybe isolated severe, particularly between like 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. up towards the upper 80s again. It's not going to be a widespread severe weather outbreak, but we'll have showers and thunderstorms in the area. Small hail, gusty wind potential. Friday, chance of a shower, but look at that. We're heading down towards 84. And Saturday, get out there and enjoy sunny skies, lower humidity, 71 degrees. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. Don't forget to like my Facebook pages, Media Mark, also Weather Northeastern, also Hurricane Northeastern. You can visit me on Twitter at Weather Eastern, MediaMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com. Don't forget to leave a question or comment down below. I'd love to read your questions or comments. I do have a link in the description down below of the Hurricane 2022 Hurricane Outlook, so if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that. And as always, thank you for joining me. Smash that like button and subscribe.